Hello to everybody. Welcome to our virtual service of United Church of Christ La Mesa. In this age of the virtual service and YouTube, our words are going to last forever, or as long as there's an internet. So let us speak the truth and show our love of God and our love of community. Let each of us share our talents and our energy to teach others and be taught ourselves, to comfort others and to seek comfort in our community. Please, Lord, let our words and actions be blessed. Amen.
For my opening words tonight, I would like to read a very, very short story by Franz Kafka, which speaks of love and losing love and how love changes and changes us. A year before his death, Franz Kafka had a very unusual experience. Strolling through the Steglitz Park in Berlin, he found a girl crying, heartbroken. She had lost her doll. Kafka offered to help look for the doll, and then prepared to meet her the next day at the same place. Unable to find the doll, he composed a letter written by the doll and read it when they met again. "Please do not cry. I have gone on a trip to see the world. I'm going to write to you about my adventures." This was the beginning of many letters. When he and the girl met, he read these carefully composed letters of imaginary adventures about the beloved doll. The girl was comforted. When the meetings came to an end, Kafka gave her a doll. She obviously looked different from the original doll. An attached letter explained, "My trips, they have changed me." Many years later, the now grown-up girl found a letter tucked into an unnoticed crack inside the wrist of the doll. In short, it said, "Everything you love is very likely to be lost, but in the end, love will return in a different way." And I was thinking about this story, and I was thinking about love and how love does change and how love matures and becomes different as the years go by. What we once loved, we may not love the same way anymore. I believe that we will love always. As we grow and change, we will love in a different way, and our small love will mature and grow and expand until it includes all people, not just our family or our friends or the people who like us, but all people, all races. And as we love, we learn to forgive. And when we forgive, we find more peace. And in finding peace, we begin to love even deeper. And so it goes. Yes, our experiences in life do change us. And sometimes we're never sure if they're changing us the way we want them to. But if we follow the guiding light of Jesus, we will always know we are moving in the right direction, the direction of compassion, forgiveness, and love.
When Ivan and I first met, we were on a boat in the Marquesas going through Polynesia, and I would go on the deck just to do hula early in the mornings in the lovely morning dew. And there he'd be, and that was when we met. And this song is an oldie that we've been playing for years together, and it's called Ku'u Morning Dew. And the translation is, "Wait for me. I will see you at the heavily misted uplands." There you get the idea, it's at dawn. We will join together. And this song is about enduring love. And I love this song because we've been fooling with it together, and I will never forget those times meeting in the early morning. Aliamai, aliamai, mali umai oi, ikawe peane, e kali mai oi, ia une, ova ue hono, me ke aloha, vehe mai ke alola, o liliko leili hau, e hohe he luana, I neia papalina, I uka o mana, I ka iu uhivai, malaila no ka ua, I pili, mau ai, hele. E ku'u morindu, aliamai, aliamai, mali umai oi, I kawe peane, e kali mai oi, ia une, ia une, ova ue hono, me ke aloha, ova ue hono, me ke aloha.
Hey guys, it's Pastor Kelly. I wanted to take just a moment, 5 minutes or so, to notice what we're noticing together. I think during this pandemic, as so much everything in our lives has changed and we've slowed down a lot, many of us, it's giving us the opportunity to be, good noticers, to really think about how we are human beings together, to consider that in ways we might not have done before if we continued to be as distracted as we so often have been. So I think we're getting a chance to think about what's really important, what really are the things that ground our lives that we want to hold on to, and the things that we realize we can live without. And I think we're also noticing during this time, as we again don't have the opportunity for so many of the distractions that have perhaps not led us to keep track, to pay attention the way we could have to the violence towards Black and brown people in our communities, for the racial inequality and disregard for Black and brown lives that has been so much a part of the fabric of our American society, that I think, especially those of us who are white, have had an awareness of, but we haven't been able to look away now. And I am grateful for that, finally, attention that has been present. And so we're also having this opportunity to really be good noticers and to be really thoughtful people together about what justice and inclusion and community and our interconnectedness and what God's realm of justice and love can look like in our world, and how we can dream about that. I think we're having this chance to slow down and notice that as well. And so I wanted to invite us just into some time of tracking and noticing together. And this is a little bit similar to how we do our Sundays, Sunday prayer time. So I want to invite us to share together as a way of keeping our connections strong with one another during this time and witnessing to one another, noticing where each other are at, to reflect on the things that we need to name that we're still grieving right now, and to reflect on the things that we feel surprised by joy right now in. So this is an opportunity to post in the chat bar that's on the right side here. And if you're watching on a big screen right now, I invite you to maybe like minimize the screen so that you can see the chat bar, or to pull up another device, a phone or a tablet or a computer, so that you can put your own responses into the chat bar and hold these together. So the first thing I want to invite us to name is a question of challenge and witness. What is one thing that you're feeling stretched to your limits right now by, or that you're grieving right now? Doesn't have to be the entirety of it. You probably can't even touch the entirety of it, but just one thing. Some of what's a place of hitting the limits for you, a place of grief for you. Because I think it's important to not lose track of that, and to not try to bypass it. And I hope that as we name these griefs, that we can hold them together as well, knowing that we're a little less lonely in those limits that we're hitting in those griefs. So I invite you to put those in the chat bar. And I know for me, one of the griefs that I'm holding right now is just the mundane but sweet ways that I was able to, just visually check in on you on a Sunday morning. Even if I didn't get a chance to have a conversation with you, I could at least see you, I could at least say hi, I could have some eye contact, just be in the same space as you and be like, okay, they look well, great. Good, I see them having a good conversation with somebody, excellent. We are healthy and well here. I miss that. I miss that a lot. And so as you see these shared here, I invite you to just take a deep breath, breathing in however deep you can. And hold these in your heart, knowing we are connected as we witness these longings in one another's hearts. And in a similar way, I don't want to leave you there. I also want to invite you to reflect on if there's one thing that you're feeling like, oh, I didn't expect to find delight there. Something that maybe delight or a sense of being surprised by joy that is that you didn't expect to encounter, but that is bubbling up during this time, that is emerging during this time. And it doesn't have to be, again, exhaustive, just can be one thing that you're noticing that is a place of joy or delight. And you can post those in the chat as well. And I'll say one thing that I think of that is a place of surprise and joy and delight, even in the midst of everything feeling so hard, is just some deepening connections with the new folks. There are, as other, kind of across churches and across organizations are coming together to be addressing racism in more systemic fashions and looking at that in our cities and in our county. There have just been some cool new friendships and colleagueships that have emerged out of that, and that's one of the things that often keeps me going in this work as well. So that's been a place of surprise and joy for me. And so as you share those and witness one another's joy and delight. I invite you to perhaps carry some energy from that. To breathe in the continuing places of joy and delight and beauty that still remain, even as things might feel dismantled or fractured or broken in our world. To know that there's still so much good that abides. And I know that I get through my days, even as things can be tiring right now, knowing that you, each of you, are a place of joy that abides for me. I think of you every day. You're in my prayers, and I love you greatly.
He's calling you. He's calling you. Tell me, what are you going to do? Your time has come for a life brand new. He is calling you. There's a voice deep inside. You hear it and you cannot hide. It seems like after all you've tried, you're never satisfied. You softly heard him call and say, promise that you'd change someday. But even if you run away, you still can't deny that something's going on, and it's real. Somehow deep inside, you can feel he's calling you. He's calling you. Oh, tell me, what are you going to do? Your time has come for a life brand new. He is calling you. Remember when you said before that you needed something more? Well, now it's time to realize he's knocking at your door. Those things that you used to do somehow don't appeal to you. So why would you deny that you don't want them anymore? Listen to your heart and to your soul, and don't be afraid anymore. Come for a life brand new. He is calling. He is calling. He is calling you. He is calling.
I'm kind of happy to do a reflection, and this is really odd because this is about Hawaiian identity and Alpine, East County. I guess it's like the foothills of the Koyamakas, but it's really about Aina. Aina means land. It means that which feeds, that which gives ideas, knowledge. And I kind of wanted to talk about my friend Kapuolani. We danced together for like about 20 years, beautiful dances about Hawaii. And I was here living in San Diego, and I said, hey, Kapuolani, I can go to the ocean, the kai, and get really good feelings, looking at the water. And she said, hey, sister, you know what? I'm loving it in Alpine, East County. The Aina is so amazing. Now, you would think that Hawaiians just love Hawaii. But the idea of being indigenous to a place, whether you're Native American or Hawaiian, it's about the land. And Kapuolani would talk to me and say, oh my God, there are deer in the back of our house. Or she'd say, you can't believe how big these trees are. I thought I'd mention her because it's really not about the place we are. The land sustains us. When Ivan and I go out every once in a while, we'll just feel so much better after we get back. We've been looking at the sun, looking at the ocean, because it's kind of like near to us. And it's amazing because you can see the ocean, you can feel the breeze, see it in the trees, feel the breeze, Sometimes you're just amazed at the land. I believe that the land sustains us. It's no coincidence to me that Pastor Kelly, Kahu Kelly, does so many of her reflections and her messages on the land. I think the land also gives us messages. One time, Ivan and I were just walking around, believe it or not, at Seaport Village by the pond, and we got a feeling all these teeny little ducks were out there because oddly with COVID-19, living things, not necessarily people, are surviving better because of the human footprint being less. And we saw these teeny little ducks, and we came away feeling so sustained. I feel that sometimes the land sustains us just being outdoors, whether it's in our gardens or just for a walk or in the park. I feel that land gives us little messages. Sometimes we get messages of hope or love from the land. And I honestly feel that whether we are in Alpine, East County, just being outside is a sustaining experience. I just wanted to share that as my message, as my reflection. I love the hula. I love dancing with Kapuolani for 20 years, from 1974 to 1994. But most of all, I love the land.
So the last few months, I've spent a lot of time at home with my little family, and sometime out in some of the natural space around our home and at the beach. We have a little toddler who I spend my days with, who's so fun and joyful. And of course, we're looking forward to welcoming another baby this year, which is exciting. But with everything kind of happening in the world, a pandemic and civil unrest, so much pain and outrage, it's left me feeling like my small little world feels so disconnected from that. I feel somewhat guilty and a little bit maybe self-indulgent in the everyday happiness of my life. And it has made me think about what I could or should be doing more of to help and to be of service of others that don't have those feelings right now. And I read something recently that really helped me kind of process those feelings. And the author was talking about selfhood, society, and service, and how they're linked, and how self-care is never a selfish act, but that it's simply good stewardship of the gift that we have to give to others. And that self-care really leads to us being able to live more authentically and to be here more faithfully. And that faithful people are more capable of greatness. And the author writes that the movements that transform us, our relations and our world, emerge from the lives of people who decide to care for their authentic selfhood. And he talks about how these people are just better capable of rejecting social systems that are plagued with poverty and pollution and inequality and racism, that those things are easier for them to reject from their true selves. And he says that these people, that they decide to live divided no more. They decide to no longer act on the outside in a way that contradicts some truth about themselves that they hold deeply on the inside. They decide to claim authentic selfhood and act it out. And their decisions ripple out to transform the society in which they live, serving the selfhood of millions of others. And so I think we should all be glad and grateful that we have this space right here in Evensong to pause and reflect and meditate and embrace our true selfhood and know that it makes us better servants to our greater community and to everyone around us.
Today I'm singing All Belong Here by The Many, and I wanted to sing this song just because of the unbelievable gratitude that I have for this church and for all the talent and beautiful people and wonderful souls and kind people that we have in this church. You know, a couple of lines in this song just remind me of how I felt when I came to the table. One in particular is when all you feel is the shape of your scars. And the other is, at this table, come as you are, broken and bleeding is okay. When you're not sure who you really are, when all you feel is the shape of your scars, and you have more wounds than you can count, open your eyes, look all around, you aren't alone, this is your home. Come and remember who you are here. Do this to remember who I am. Come and remember you belong here. All belong here. When you don't know how to forgive, when locked doors seem like the only way to live, and you got more questions than you can count, open your eyes, look all around, you aren't alone, this is your home. Come and remember who you are here. Do this to remember who I am.
May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope.